from Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 regular meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. Board to reconvene. The first item is roll call.
Supervisor Peters.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner. Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez. Here.
The next item is the salute to the flag, but in lieu of reciting the Pledge of Allegiance this morning, we are honored to have the Kern County Sheriff's Honor Guard present to present the colors, followed by Deputy Sheriff Cherie Davis, who will sing the national anthem. And after the colors are retired, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer. Thank you.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Why don't you, let's show our appreciation for Deputy Davis and the Color Guard, if you would. Thank you to both of them for doing that. The next item is the pet of the week, so we'll ask Nick Cullen, our Director of Animal Services, to come out. We got to share the mic today between me, you, and
Good morning, Chairman Couch, members of the board. This is Ricky. Ricky is about a 4-month-old Border Collie mix. He's got a special story. He came to us about a month ago. He had a fractured left front leg, and our medical team saved his life. He had an amputation, and he's learning to get along with just 3 legs now, but he's adapting just fine, and he's available for adoption right now at the Kern County Animal.
I bet he can outrun me. So let's find Ricky a forever home. Thank you. Thank you. The next item is the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA or C above the item number considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. The CA represents the consent agenda of the Board of Supervisors. The C represents the consent agenda for the Kern Sanitation Authority and or the In-Home Supportive Services Authority. We can vote on those all in one motion. Is there anyone, now's the time, if there's anyone here that would like to make a comment or ask a question about any of the items on the consent agenda, which, for your information, the consent agenda starts on page 3. And it's all the items on page 3, 11 through 18, page 4, all the items 19 through 25, page 5, all the items 26 through 33, page 6, items 35 through 41. That means 34 is not on the consent agenda. Page 7, all the items 42 through 49, page 8, items 50 through 57, and on page 9, item 58. Is there anyone here that'd like to make a comment or ask a question about any of the items I just mentioned? Seeing none, I'll return to the board for a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent.
We have a motion. We're waiting on a second. Here we go. Got a second from Supervisor Perez. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
All right, thank you. That takes us back to the top of page 2. We are in the resolutions and proclamations portion of the meeting. We'll start with items 1 and 2. They will be presented by Supervisor Peters. Item 1 is a resolution honoring Carol Cox of the Department of General Services upon her retirement with 28 years of dedicated service to the County of Kern. And item 2 proclaims May 12th through the 18th as National Police Week and Thursday, May 16th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in Kern County. And we have a request for permission to fly flags at half-staff during National Police Week. Supervisor Peters?
Thank you, Chairman. I'll make a motion to approve items 1 and 2. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. I'm joined here this morning by Ms. Carol Cox, as well as our Director of General Services, Jeff Hill. So 28 years, that's a long time with the county. I'm not going to tell you what I was doing 28 years ago, but I definitely wasn't thinking about anything having to do with the county. So this is quite the list of accomplishments. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to try and read through this. So this is a resolution honoring and commending Carol J. Cox upon her retirement with 28 years of dedicated service to Kern County. Whereas Carol Cox began her career in Kern County's purchasing department as a Buyer 1 on September 9th, 1996, was promoted to Buyer 2 on September 11th, 1998, and was then promoted to Buyer 3 on March 9th, 2002. And on March 1st, 2008, Ms. Cox was promoted again to supervising buyer and worked diligently in this position for 6 years before promoting once more to purchasing manager on February 7th, 2014, which was later reclassified as general services manager on February 6, 2015. Ms. Cox received a bachelor's degree from an accredited university and earned the Certified Purchasing Manager certification, in addition to being an active member of the California Association of Public Procurement Officials, Inc. Her vast knowledge has been a great asset and has brought awareness, training, and experience to Kern County purchasing, where she updated and created county-wide training writing specifications. including writing specifications, fast-track bid processes, the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act, local vendor preference implementation, and the request for proposal process. Ms. Cox worked tirelessly with County Council and Risk Management to create a county contracts, risk management, and procurement class, in addition to the best value bid process methodology for Kern County. In 2016, Ms. Cox set up Kern County Purchasing Card Program and was an integral part of the establishment of the Emergency Operations Center, and was there when the first county emergency occurred, ensuring the needed goods, services, and vendors were in place. Ms. Cox's implementation of the county vehicle acquisition bid process provided clarity and understanding between vendors, departments, and other agencies, which our process is currently in place and being utilized today. Ms. Cox's dedication, integrity, and commitment to serve has earned her the respect and admirations of vendors, peers, and colleagues, and her many contributions to countywide procurement will be greatly missed as she is wished the best in her future endeavors. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, does hereby honor and commend Carol J. Cox upon her retirement with 28 years of dedicated service to Kern County. And it's signed by our Honorable Chairman David Couch.
We're going to say a couple of words. Perfect. Jim as well. Don't let you. I'm going to say a couple of words, and then Carol is going to say a couple of words as well. Some of this might be duplication, but we're here today to thank Carol for 28 years of service and wish her well on the next chapters of her life. Purchasing has sometimes been a thorn in some of the sides of various people, but it makes sense that it is a challenge because Carol is protecting the process and the public treasury and the public fisc. That's a big responsibility, and she carries that out really well. Ultimately, we're responsible to the board and to the people of Kern County, and this is part of what Carol does. This requires accuracy and accountability, and she carries both of those out well. Carol and her team are doers, and to put this in perspective, let's talk just a couple of numbers. This is just the 10 years that Carol has been the purchasing manager. She has presided over the issuance of 38,446 POs. That's a big number. She's also, the value of those POs is $1,173,712,395.20. And the reason I bring that up all the way out to that and the other numbers is all the way out to the decimal is that accuracy is important and accountability is important. And so when I asked Carol to provide me with that number, she was able to provide it down to the penny. So that speaks to the precision of the work that she does. She's been a creative administrator going back years. Carol worked with Kirk Perkins and GK County Council to continue to refine and adjust the processes of Chapter 5. While sometimes it's a bit perplexing, like a lot of things, once you understand the process, it's actually fairly easy. Carol has also been an educator. How many times have we been asked by Carol to do research? For instance, have you looked in Chapter 5 on how to do that? So she's helped us all delve in and understand that. She's been a defender. We've been through long investigations and routinely challenged for our POs and our RFPs and our other processes. And rarely, if ever, are our challenges upheld because the process is solid and Carol helps to make sure of that on a daily basis. And finally, she's been a helper and a teammate. She's been through numerous EOC activations, and her team have always been quick to get whatever is needed for the community and the emergency responders. to provide excellent on-time response to minimize the impact of these substantial events. Additionally, in the days after the responses, her and her team's adherence to the regulatory requirements provides for fairly easy reconciliation with the funding bodies and the audits, which is important for getting the money. We'll miss Carol, but understand it's time for her to move on to other pursuits and reap the rewards of her dedicated service. So Carol, thank you again, and the microphone is yours if you'd like.
Chairman, members of the Board of Supervisors, ladies and gentlemen, there hasn't been a day in 28 years that I didn't want to come to work because I love my job and I enjoy working with the County of Kern. What a blessing to be able to say that. The years have flown by and it's been a happy time, a time where I worked hard, gave of my expertise, a time where I shared skills, and also a time where I learned a lot. My career in county purchasing was and is always challenging and rewarding. I did my best and I was well rewarded in kindness and friendship. We worked together each day to accomplish what is needed for the benefit of the county. I have an array of experiences, too many to mention, that have impacted on my life in memorable and meaningful ways. These experiences have included working with many county employees who through the years have become friends and confidants and who I've learned many things from. We've laughed, struggled, solved problems together effectively and with our best efforts. And in the end, it's the memories of working together through it all that remains. I've learned here in Kern County that it takes a group of very special people to commit to their jobs each day, even when the going gets tough. And believe me, we've all experienced that as we work together over the years. I've learned that the experience that each day brings that starts with friends can make a difference and give you a much needed perspective. Most importantly, I've experienced remarkable opportunities at Kern County, and I have come to fully appreciate them as I prepare to retire. I've learned that happiness is the consequence of personal effort, consistency, and constantly striving for accomplishments each day. I'm extremely grateful for the county family that I've associated with. This has meant so much to me throughout my years here. They've been incredible years and years that I will remember happily. I'm looking forward to having time and freedom to pursue and create hobbies and new activities, which include volunteering, writing, travel, and time with family and friends. I also look forward to leisurely lunches without worrying that I might be sleepy in the afternoon and that there will be no more anxious phone calls to solve an acquisition problem. Yes, there are benefits in life's transitions. Thank you for sharing this time with me, and thank you for the support and friendship we have had over 28 years. I believe that this great county will continue to grow and prosper, and I trust that county employees will continue to be happy, fulfilled, and engaged in doing work that the county needs. Keep up the good work. It's been wonderful to work at the County of Kern. Thanks for everything. I shall miss you.
Supervisor Peters, Carol, congratulations. You said there was never a day you didn't want to come to work. There was probably some days you wanted to quit early, but we're glad you didn't. Thank you for your years of service. Very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm joined this morning by our Sheriff, Donnie Youngblood, in proclaiming May 12th through the 18th, 2024, as National Police Week and Peace Officer Memorial Day in Kern County. This was a resolution passed by Congress in 1962, and we've celebrated and honored our peace officers every May 15th, and that week that it occurs in ever since. And I just, we all watch the news. We see what's going on out in the community and in our nation. I can't imagine that there's ever been a more difficult time to be in law enforcement, but we still have some outstanding men and women that get up and put on the badge every day to protect our communities. And for that, I know I'm grateful, and I believe I speak for all of us when I say we owe you all a debt of gratitude for that. So it is my honor to share this proclamation. The Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, have officially proclaimed May 12th through 18th, 2024 as National Police Week, and Thursday, May 16th, 2024 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in Kern County. This recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, David Couch. Sheriff?
Thank you, Supervisor Peters, Chairman Couch, members of the board. It's an honor to stand before you representing and leading the group of people you see at the rear of this room. We have a different generation that works in law enforcement today. They have to be different. We couldn't have done what these folks do every day. Just in a 24-hour period last week, there was 18 officers shot in the line of duty across this country. These people run towards gunfire, and we're here to honor the ones that we've lost during our history of the county. And when we lose someone, it's very traumatic. We had another year, successful year this year of not losing an officer, when we're extremely pleased to have that happen. We hope it never happens again, but we know that it will. We will honor the ones that we've lost coming up next Thursday. At 10 o'clock at Norris Road, we'll have the Kern County Sheriff's Office ceremony honoring the ones that have fallen. And then at noon, and the Liberty Bell, we'll do all county agencies across the county, law enforcement that have lost members throughout their history. We invite each of you to come. It's noticeable when you're there. I get it every year. I hear from the deputies at how honored they are to see their elected officials show up. So I thank you for the week. The people behind me, thank you for the week. And maybe go 100 more years without ever losing one. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Sheriff. And thanks to your whole department, really. And every police officer in Kern County for what they do. Well done, Supervisor. The next two items, 3 and 4, will be presented by Supervisor Perez. Item 3 proclaims May 2024 as Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month in Kern County, and item 4 proclaims May 2024 as Older Americans Month in Kern County. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you, Chairman. Motion on items 3 and 4, please.
Second?
Sorry, please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Honorable Chairman and colleagues, I am so pleased to make this presentation before you today to proclaim May 2024 as Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month in Kern County. Latina mothers exhibit a strength that knows no bounds. It extends beyond their maternal duties, with over 61% of them now a part of the United States workforce. Between home and work life, Latina mothers often have less time to prioritize their health, especially while pregnant. In May, we recognize the importance of Latina mothers' health as health issues within the Latina community have become more and more prevalent in recent years. A recent study shows that 1/3 of all Hispanic and Latina women live with cardiovascular disease. Devastatingly also, in 2020, we saw a jump of 44% in Latina maternal mortality rates. Despite all of this, and often the health of Latina mothers can go overlooked. And with 69% of babies in Kern County being born to Latina mothers, it is not wise for any of us to ignore the consequences. A mother's love is healing. Latina mothers, not just here in Kern County, but across our nation and world, serve as incredible providers, serving as agents of strength and influence for the next generation of Kern's workforce. It is imperative that we continue to support them in any capacity that we can. They are truly, truly superheroes, sheroes, if you will. It is an honor to present this proclamation today, and it is my sincere hope that focus on the health of Latina mothers extends far beyond just May and far beyond Kern County, but every day of the year. Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California officially proclaims May 2024 as Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month in Kern County, which recognizes the unique needs of Latina mothers and importance to Kern County during pregnancy, delivery, and after childbirth. Recognition has been entered into the official board minutes, signed by our Honorable Chairman, David Couch, and now we get to hear from you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Montserrat Ramos, and I'm the Kathy Olson Patient Advocate with Consumer Watchdog. Happy Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month. Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month started right here in Kern County due to the support of Supervisor Leticia Perez and all of you, our Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Board of Supervisors, for your support, and a special thank you to Supervisor Leticia Perez for your early support of this effort, for your support of our Latina Maternal Health Fair, and for your unending support of mothers, babies, and families in Kern County. I would like to introduce everyone here today. We have Xavier De Leon, co-founder of Save a Mom, Save a Family, and father to Malachi De Leon. And we have Monique Himes, grandmother to Malachi De Leon. This past Saturday, we hosted our 3rd annual Latina Maternal Health Fair at Cal State Bakersfield. We had organizations from across Kern County there offering resources and support to pregnant mothers and their families. It was a great event that keeps growing each year. Both Xavier and Monique were at the health fair along with other advocates to make sure that our 3rd annual Latina Maternal Health Fair was a success. We have seen some progress in the past 4 years since we began focusing on the maternal mortality crises here in Kern County, but we have so much more to do. Mothers and babies are continuing to die needlessly. The maternal mortality rate is still in our community. There are existing programming that we could expand on that will support pregnant moms up until delivery. This is so important and needs to be addressed. Some small modifications can and will save lives of our Kern County mothers and babies. Again, thank you for proclaiming May as Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month. We look forward to continuing to work with you to curb our maternal mortality crises. We can do this together. Thank you. I would like to introduce Xavier De Leon, co-founder of Save a Mom, Save a Family.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Xavier De Leon. I'm with Save a Mom, Save a Family Foundation. I want to thank you all for proclaiming May as the Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month. And I want to give a special thanks to Supervisor Leticia Perez for showing up for us time and time again. This means a lot to me because 5 years ago, I had experienced firsthand what medical negligence looked like when I had to hold my son Malachi in my arms while he took his last breaths after losing his mom, Demi, the same day. Over time, we learned that there are many other families that have experienced a similar tragedy here in our community. That is the reason Save a Mom and Save a Family Foundation got started. We are here to bring awareness and resources to the community about the maternal and infant mortality crisis. Kern County has the 2nd highest infant mortality rate in the state next to Tulare County. Our county's infant mortality rate is 6.72 deaths per 1,000 babies, while California's infant mortality rate is 3.99 per 1,000 babies. Too many babies are dying. And not only are too many babies dying, but are also having their basic rights taken away. I know this because I am experiencing it with my son, Malachi. When I filed a complaint with the medical board, I was told that it was closed due to my son not qualifying for a special statute of limitations for minor children because the board considers my son, who was born and lived 18 hours, a fetus. I'd also like to mention we also need to upgrade one of our hospitals to a level 4 NICU instead of having to airlift our babies miles away, losing precious time. We look forward to further discussions on how we can ensure that we have life-saving resources here in Kern County. Thank you for supporting mothers and babies, and thank you again for supporting Latina Maternal Health Awareness Month.
Thank you for being here today.
Well, Chairman Couch, it is not lost on me that you assigned to me Latina maternal health care and older Americans. As
I wondered if you noticed that.
I did, and I fit both, just increasingly so. Could you come on over? Hello, good to see you. You can borrow my cane. Oh, I can borrow your cane. I love it. Good to see you. Honorable Chairman and colleagues, I am proud to stand before you today to proclaim May 2024 Older Americans Month in Kern County. The Older Americans Month was first established in 1963 by President John F. Kennedy and the members of the National Council of Senior Citizens. This year's theme for the Older Americans Month 2024 is Powered by Connection, human connection. This new theme will recognize the significant impact meaningful relationships and social connections have on our mental and physical health as we get older. We know that loneliness amongst our senior citizens is a national epidemic. And if we're lucky, Kathy Kraus, we'll all get there. So it makes sense that we would grow the networks to keep our neighbors flourishing and within a sense of community. In Kern County, our older adults play a crucial role in our community, bringing their time, wisdom, and experience to guide us as family, friends, mentors, and leaders. Aging and Adult Services encourages the community to help uplift our elder citizens by volunteering for the many programs we have available to serve our seniors. Together, we can build a better community that values all walks of life, where every person, regardless of age or status, has purpose and love. It is with great gratitude for everything that you do, Jeremy Oliver, that we present to you today and your team May 2024 proclamation, Older Americans Month in Kern County. This recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and it's been signed by our Honorable Chairman, David Couch. And now the floor is yours, Chairman. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Supervisor Perez, and thank you, Chairman Couch, members of the board, for proclaiming the month of May as Older Americans Month. I am pleased to be joined this morning by one of our chairpersons for the Commission on Aging, Stephanie Lynch. As this board is aware, the Commission on Aging volunteers their time to advise on the general areas of problems faced by older adults, assessing and studying needs of older adult citizens, and advising Aging Adult Services Department Area Agency on Aging. The Commission has successfully launched the Centenarian Program, which recognizes those who have reached 100 years of age or older. Here are some of the photos from this year's Kern Centenarians. To date, we've been able to honor 17 folks within our community. These people obviously embody this year's theme of Powered by Connection, being active and connected to others. They have maintained connections to family and friends who help share the honor of living a century. I am frequently asked what age defines an older American. Sorry.
Careful, Jeremy.
That's right. Be very careful. Per the federal government, and qualifier of most of our Older Americans programs, it is the age of 60 and above. I know for all of us, an older adult is defined by how old we are. And if somebody is older than us, then they're probably an older adult. And if they're our age, they're probably still young. Regardless of your age, we encourage everyone to attend our resource fair on May 18th at our office, 5357 Truxton Avenue, where we will have resources for those who are older adults, or if you know someone who is an older adult and you want to gather more information and resources. Some of our highlights include free shredding event, advanced healthcare directives, and many free giveaways. Thank you again for recognizing Older Americans Month. And thank you, Supervisor, for covering the spectrum today. So, really.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Stephanie, for coming down today. Items 5 and 6 will be presented by Supervisor Flores. Item 5 proclaims May 2024 as Community Action Month in Kern County, and item 6 proclaims May 2024 as Foster Care Awareness Month in Kern County. I'm sorry, did I say 5 and 6? I meant 6 and 7. 5, 6, and 7. Oh. Kathy, it's a good thing you're here. He's doing 3, not just 2. Item 7 is a certificate of recognition in honor and commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the founding of St. George Greek Orthodox Hellenic Community in Kern County.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll
Sorry
make the
about that.
motion on 5, 6, and 7.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scrivener.
Morning, colleagues and Chairman. I'm proud to stand here with the executive team of CAPK. CAPK has a promise that they often cite about improving lives of our residents, and they've been doing that for decades here in Kern County, and they've been doing it well and effectively and with passion and heart. I'm standing here today with the leadership team, and Community Action Partnership of Kern County is the official anti-poverty agency. Their mission is to provide and advocate for resources that will empower members of the community we serve to be self-sufficient. They'll be highlighting the impact that the 19 poverty-fighting programs and more than 900 employees make each day in the lives of those facing hunger, economic security, and loss. This celebration is even more important this year as we reflect on the work CAPK has done with the groundbreaking of the food bank expansion, handling of the increase of calls for help through 211 system, and that 211 system was absolutely critical and on full display during our COVID crisis. They did an exceptional job, and they're to be commended. And the increasing food distributions of families and individuals of approximately 20 million pounds of food countywide. And you know, this goes without saying, any one of us could instantly be destitute. Some are living paycheck to paycheck. And the programs here are touching lives for the better, and that lifts all of us up. So on behalf of our chairman, David Couch, and our board of supervisors, I'd like to proclaim May 24th as Community Action in Kern County. And this recognition has been entered in the official board minutes signed by David Couch, our chairman, dated this date, May 7th. And I'll present this to Jeremy Tobias. If you'd like to say a few words. Congratulations.
All right. Good morning, Chair and fellow board members. CAPK was founded in May of 1965. That was a while ago. That was not far from my birthday. I won't say which side of the line I'm on, but yeah, it's close. Yes, as you mentioned. And we were founded with the mission of moving people out of poverty into self-sufficiency, which is really kind of a wonderful thing. And like what we call it at our agency and our staff, what we like to talk about is we help people move towards their version of the American dream. We all have a version of the American dream, no matter what our situation is. And what we want to do, our staff, is we feel we want to help people achieve that American dream, whatever it is. Everyone's American dream is different, and that's not important. We want to help them get there. We serve about 114,000 unique individuals here in Kern County every year. Now, many of those individuals receive multiple touch points, so we touch hundreds of thousands of people every year in our county, multiple times, and 114,000 unique individuals. We operate 19 programs, and we have 950 of the most wonderful staff and passionate staff imaginable. Our programs are very holistic. We serve people on multiple fronts, not just one issue. We tend to try and serve the whole family. So with me today, I have a few of our executive team members. I'll introduce them. Savannah Maldonado is our outreach director. Lewis Gill is in charge of our programs at CAPK. And we have Jerry Mead with us, who's our Assistant Director of Head Start. And he's going to mention a couple of items about their program and how it operates. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and fellow board members. It's a pleasure to stand here today and represent the 900-plus employees that we have with Community Action Partnership of Kern. For the last 20 years, I've had the pleasure of working with our Head Start program and seeing it grown throughout our county in this last 2 decades. As Jeremy mentioned, with all the multiple programs that we have in our community through Community Action Partnership of Kern, our Head Start program is able to thrive. We are regulatorily required to provide a holistic service to the child and the whole family in Head Start. And we can do that by linking our programs in CAPK to our families. If we have food insecure problems in a particular family, we have our food bank. We have our WIC program to make sure our pregnant moms have what they need for their babies. If they're experiencing needing to get their taxes, we have our VITA program, we have our energy program. There's many different programs that we have within CAPK that support the community. With the introduction of the 211 program, we also have the ability to link our families to all of the programs across the county to support the needs of those unique needs of those individuals. In Head Start, we serve over 2,000 children and families each year, and the 2,000 plus children and families receive a high level of education and school readiness through a curriculum-based program to support them being ready to enter kindergarten. But in addition to that, we also make sure that they have a medical home, a dental home with a focus on preventative measures to support them being healthy, providing nutritious meals through our central kitchen to make sure that we are giving those families the most nutritious opportunities while they're in our care. Once again, on behalf of the entire agency, we are really very proud to be able to support the most vulnerable populations in the county. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Jeremy and just say thank you for our acknowledgement for this month. Jeremy?
So to wrap up and to close, I wanted to emphasize probably the most important part of this is the partnership part of Community Action Partnership of Kern. We have, just in the food bank alone, we have 200 pantry sites through churches, schools, or whatever. But I want to acknowledge the County of Kern. We have tremendous partnerships with the board and the wonderful staff at the county that enables us to serve over 100,000 people in a county that's, over 8,000 square miles. The only way we do that, it's impossible unless we have the partnerships, and the county is a huge partner with us, whether it's M Street Navigation Center, 211, the food bank. You've been there with us every step of the way, and this partnership is what makes our job, we were able to do it. So thank you very much. We appreciate the proclamation, and we appreciate the partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. David, I plugged in.
I'm sorry, hang on, guys. Supervisor Perez would like to, well, you take your picture first, and then we'll
Yeah, go ahead, please.
get to that.
Thank you, Chairman.
You bet.
Dream team. Jeremy, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You're one of the very few people that is consistently remains and never moves from my list of heroes in this community. And, CAPK is the premier institution of the most cutting-edge, real-time, best practices. You're surrounded by people like Lewis Gill, who's absolutely masterful at understanding the holistic nature of the way in which we treat our neighbors who are hurting and in these conditions. And so, you have remained steadfast in your non-ideological approach to providing services with compassion, with love, with integrity, and with accountability. And there is no one who runs an organization more respected and more effective than yours. And that's not possible without a team. I'm a Head Start baby. I'm so happy to see you here and talking about the care of the family because when I graduated Head Start on the east side on Oswell, I gave a little graduation speech and got my very first standing ovation at Head Start. So you're to blame, for putting these ideas out there. But really, thank you for what you do to empower the community. All my cousins were Head Start babies, and what a profoundly important impact on a child and on this community and its well-being. So thank you for what you do. Louis, it's good to see you in action and to see your expertise at play. It couldn't be at a better place. I really believe that. So thank you. God bless you, Savannah. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you all for being here. Next is item 8, and then we'll get to public presentations, but I'm sorry. Oh, getting ahead of myself.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board, and audience. Lito just said, he whispered, this is my dream team, so we're celebrating too, and rightly so. So
You got them outnumbered, that's for sure.
Two. Okay. There are nearly 2,000 children in foster care in Kern County. Many of these children are teens and eventually will reunite with their parents and be adopted by loving families. However, some children will remain in long-term foster care. No matter their age, every young person in foster care benefits from and deserves a meaningful connection to a caring adult. May is National Foster Care Awareness Month and is an opportunity to bring about awareness of foster care to our community. The Kern County Department of Human Services will be partnering with many local agencies such as foster family agencies, Kern County Network for Children, Foster Youth Services, Bakersfield College, court-appointed special advocates of Kern County, and many others. They're going to have annual events, trainings this month, and is therefore, on behalf of our Board of Supervisors, recommended that we proclaim May 24th as Foster Care Awareness Month in the County of Kern, signed by our Chairman, David Couch, May 7th, 2024. And I'll present this to Lito Murillo, our Director of DHS, who will say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Flores. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I appreciate this proclamation recognizing May as Foster Care Awareness Month. I'd be remiss if I didn't throw in some dates as well in light of Older Americans Month and some when programs were established. To give you some dates, foster care was established in the U.S. in 1853, which is 171 years ago. So, Jeremy, I need a picture of the Centurion foster care program. Established in 1853. But I'm pleased and honored to be here for this proclamation. I'm joined by, like I said, my dream team. There are a whole host of collaborative organizations that make this all work. From probation, we have Officer Teresa Dickey and Patricia Cantu, Probation Division Director Joel Walton. From Kern BHRS, we have Jason Gifford and Heather Garcia. From Kern County Superintendent of Schools, we have Kurt Williams. From Bakersfield College, we have Araceli Navarro. And from Your Human Services, we have Assistant Director Maria Bermudez, Program Directors Aaron Gillespie, Tim Stevens, Limbanya Sandoval, Monica Goodell, and Program Specialists Stephanie Sosa, Susan Lawal, and Resource Family Specialist Melissa Soin. So every year we come before you in May to celebrate Foster Care Awareness Month and just to kind of really highlight and celebrate the work that our foster parents do day in and day out. It's truly amazing because when you think about what they do, a lot of our kids come through us to no fault of their own because of abuse and neglect, and our foster parents open up their home and provide a nurturing, loving area for kids to really thrive in, and then obviously, hopefully, with the thought of reunifying with their respective parents. I just wanted to take this time to really just thank them. To our foster parents in our community, I want to recognize you and thank you for the work that you do. You open your hearts and homes to the children and in need of love, stability, and support. A world where we turn a blind eye to things, you choose to step forward and embrace the responsibility and challenge of nurturing our most vulnerable. Your commitment to the well-being of children is an inspiration to us all, reminding us of the power of kindness and what a difference a person can make in someone's life. Today, I have with me a special person, Rosalind Duffy Wallace, who has been a foster parent with us for over 10 years, and she's going to share her story with us. So, Rosalind?
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman, and members of the board, and my TFLT and DHS. I had the opportunity to become a foster parent, and over the years, as a foster parent, I have dealt with a lot of difficult children, and I got in it for the love and support of a kid, because as a parent, you see our children go one way or the other, and with our foster, they didn't ask to be here, but it's a team of us, especially Heather and Jason, part of the TFO team, that we reunified with the parents. And I love the team, I love DHS, and I thank them very much for giving me the honor to be here today. And I'm happy, and I'm thankful that there are children out there, mine are grown, that are out there that needs a little love and a little understanding. So pour in some good love, understanding. We have some great kids to come better for the community. So thank you guys. I greatly appreciate it.
And real quickly, before I close, I just want to recognize Rosalind again, because she was nominated as an outstanding foster parent for the year by our probation officer, Patricia Cantu. And Patricia writes a quote that I would just want to read to you real quickly. Rosalind cares for our youth with very challenging behaviors and doesn't give up on them. She doesn't throw up her hands and give notice. She lets us work something out to make a plan for them by attending our meetings. Rosalind steps up. I can't express or explain how much I appreciate having her as a foster parent. And that was from her probation officer, probation. That was recommended from. That was from probation officer Patricia Cantu. So anyway, thank you again for this proclamation. It's much appreciated. And I also want to thank our social workers and our other collaborative partners who couldn't be here today. It's truly an honor. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I have the trifecta today, with my last one. Is for the 100th anniversary of St. George Greek Orthodox Church. If anyone from the church is here this morning, would you please come join me at the podium? I see Annette Lundquist. She's making her way down. She's the chair of the 100th anniversary celebration. If anyone's been to the Greek festival, you'll see the hospitality and the wonderful culture that's on display, and they're such a great part of the fabric and tapestry of the diversity of Kern County. So we're celebrating all that and more today. The St. George Greek Orthodox Hellenic community will celebrate the 100th anniversary of its founding on June 1st, 2024. These ancestors began traveling from New York's Ellis Island in the late 1800s and settled in Kern County. They held Greek Orthodox church services in homes and rented halls. By 1924, there were enough Greek immigrants to purchase the land at 401 Truxton Avenue, just down the street, build a hall with served as a church and called this Hellenic American Association of Bakersfield. In 1932, the first church, St. George Church, was built to accommodate the growing number of Greek immigrants arriving in Kern County. The current Greek Orthodox Church at 401 Truxton Avenue was constructed in 1947. So throughout the years, the Kern County Greek people have welcomed all Orthodox people from many ethnic backgrounds to share the vision and values and virtues of Hellenism, Orthodoxy, and America. So at this time, on behalf of our board and Chairman David Couch, we're presenting this proclamation to the St. George Greek Orthodox Church in honor of your 100th anniversary and for exemplary public service and civic contributions to the community in Kern County dated this day, May 7th. I'd like to present this to Annette Lundquist, the chair. Thank you. Congratulations. The floor is yours.
Well, we're back to older Americans, and these are really old. Thank you very much for this recognition. You did a great job, Jeff. He said everything. I have nothing left to say. We are excited about honoring our forefathers, our grandparents and great-grandparents who landed in Ellis Island and made their way all the way across the country. I can't even imagine doing that. And they decided to settle in Kern County. Some of them went to Tehachapi to work on the railroad. Some of them were working in fruit and produce and hotels and different kinds of things like that. They didn't have hotels like we know, but they had lodgings. Anyway, we are honored that it was a hardy group of people, and on June 1st, we are going to celebrate them at our church hall and our park, which is east of the Amtrak station on Truxtun Avenue. Every October we have our festival, and I know a lot of you come to that, and we love that. But this is different. This is celebrating our forefathers and the establishment of our community in Bakersfield. And I have with me today Julie and Angela Perucci, Ted Buddy, and Elaine Solon. They are part of the committee to put this celebration on, and we're really excited about it. We'd like to invite everybody. We're sharing this with the community. So I have flyers, I have invitations for anyone who would like to join us. It's going to be Greece under the stars. We're having Greek music, Greek food, Greek pastries, Greek everything. But our church, our community has evolved over the years. Originally, it was the Greeks who arrived in Kern County in America, but our church has evolved to welcome Orthodox Christians from all parts of the world. So we are a very diverse group, and we love that. That's how we have grown. So thank you very much for this. June 1st, that's a Saturday. We would like to invite everyone to join us and help us celebrate this 100 years. We're not doing it again. I mean, this is our last time. The next group gets to do the next 100 years. So hopefully we'll be around by then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the pivotal question is, will you have Lucamaves?
What?
Will you have Lucamaves?
Lucamade.
No.
Yeah, the festival we will.
The festival, yes.
Come to the festival for Lucamades. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations. Item 7, sorry, 8, I need my glasses, is a certificate of recognition. Doesn't need a vote. It's my honor to present this certificate of recognition to LaVon Hall, who is the chairman of the board and the chief administrative officer of Hall Ambulance. She is this year's recipient of the American Ambulance Association's Vanguard Award for supporting and advancing women's careers in emergency services. So, LaVon, you want to join me down front, and anybody you want to bring. So I'm going to present this to you, LaVon. I'm going to let you say a few words, but the Vanguard Award is presented in collaboration with Women in Emergency Services. I don't know about you, but when I think of an EMT, I think of a man, but I see them out in the field, and there's a lot of women in that field now. Makes sense. And WIES, Women in Emergency Services, is an organization that is dedicated to supporting and advancing women's careers through empowerment, networking, mentorship, and education. Levon pretty much embodies all of those things, I think, in this particular industry. By the way, let me back up and say, our system in Kern County, our emergency medical system, is really good compared to others throughout the state. It isn't perfect. No, none of them are perfect. But where would we be without Hall Ambulance, which is really the anchor of that system? So thank you to your company, Levon. Thank you to Harvey for getting it started, and all the people that, that work at Hall Ambulance. I'll present this to you and let you say a couple words. This is signed by all the members of the board. It's in recognition and congratulations on being the recipient of the American Ambulance Association's Vanguard Award. And this is in all of our certificates, but this is really, this nails it for you. It's for exemplary public service and civic contributions to the community in Kern County. I'll present that to you and allow you to say whatever you want to say. Let me get this out of your way.
Thank you very much, Chairman Couch and members of the board. Being awarded the Vanguard Award was very important. It's meaningful because it is geared towards women in an industry that has been, for the most part, male-driven. Nationwide, more than 60% of all new paramedics are men. So we're making headway. The first woman paramedic was 1975. So it hasn't been that long, but we're making headway. And I was honored to be one of 16 women nationwide to be given this award. A lot of women who are doing incredible things in our industry. When I was 5 years old, I was in a car that was hit by a train. And on that chaotic ride to the hospital, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I never wavered from that. I always wanted a career in EMS, and I've been lucky to have that 40-year career in EMS. Actually 41 years, but 40 years here in Kern County. I'm honored to have been able to serve the community. And, that 5-year-old me had no clue what kind of adventure she was going to go on, none. And, through it all, with one exception, and that exception of 6 years ago, pretty much exactly 6 years ago, learning about the hard way about a horrible disease called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So with the exception of Harvey not being here with me today, I wouldn't have changed a thing. So thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Chairman, while you're coming up here, I would like to say a few things, if that's okay. Thank you for that. First of all, I love your outfit. As soon as I saw your shoes, I felt Harvey. And, he was such a profoundly generous human being. And I experienced it in so many ways and in so many times that, it showed me so much about who he was. And we used to do these pajama drives for the homeless shelter. And I remember Harvey pulling up himself with 100 pairs of pajamas to my house on the east side. And that was just, I could tell you 20 more stories right now like that about things I saw him personally do. Arvin with medical equipment being sent to Mexico, Mexico's sister city of Arvin, that this man was the real deal. And it's really striking to hear your story, and in particular of the paucity of women that are in I didn't know that, 1975, wow, that's fairly recent. I would like the public to know about my experience with you personally during the COVID, saga that we went through here locally and across the country. It was really an unprecedented time. And, a lot of folks were behaving in self-serving manners. And we saw this from stores to, we saw it all across the board, people not behaving very well, frankly, and acting out of a lot of fear. And we had some challenges with getting folks to understand some of the medical realities that were facing us, and those have great controversy. And I so appreciate that without asking for a contract, without asking me to show you I had insurance, without giving you a list of everything I was going to do, when we asked you to please, if we could please borrow one of your multi-million-dollar, apparatus to save lives, to go door to door and to talk to people in my district about it. You didn't hesitate, not for a moment. It was quite stunning because it's not normally how people behave. And when you see it, it's striking. I felt the spirit of Harvey in that. And it's your spirit. I don't mean to overly give him credit, but that's who I knew. I don't know you. But I'll tell you, in that experience with you during COVID, I learned everything I needed to know. And your spirit of generosity and the connectivity that we engaged in order to help the community better itself. It was, and given the incredible controversial nature of it, I would expect you to stay out, and you didn't. And I want to say thank you for that. That is so beautiful, to lend your resources, your talent, your abilities that you've worked so hard for, in a moment like this, to be creative and to think outside the box. And I really appreciate you, and I love the shoes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your kind words about Harvey, and he was always he's very supportive, especially of women in this industry. When I said, well, I'm going to go to paramedic school, and my Harvey invitation here, he'd be like, heck yeah, you are, man. And just, he was always very supportive of people, and especially women. And at Hall Ambulance, we use a phrase, and we say care, compassion, community. And what you just said, that embodies Harvey Hall's vision, his ideals, and I have to also mention, one of the best things throughout my career is that I gained an incredible found family and team in my Hall Ambulance gang, and a lot of whom are here today. And so every single one of them would have also stepped up and said, yes, we will do this, because that's how we operate at Hall Ambulance. That's how we just embody our go about our days. So thank you for those kinds of words. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And to your team, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here, and congratulations. Okay, that takes us to item 9, which is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter that is not on the agenda but is under the jurisdiction of the board. We try to keep please come to the microphone as I'm speaking. That's perfectly fine. Try to keep our comments to 2 minutes. Who will be first? Morning.
Chairman Couch, Board of Supervisors. I'm Vince Mayocco. Last name spelled M-A-I-O-C-C-O. I've spoke here in front of the Board of Supervisors a number of times over the last couple of years. However, I come to you today as the head baseball coach of Taft College, and I wanted to give you an update on our baseball program, the success that we had this year. We made the state tournament. First time in the history of Taft College baseball that we've taken down both Fresno City College and College of the Sequoias 3 times each in the same year. And means we're speaking of the number 3. We also own a 3-game winning streak against Bakersfield College over the last 2 years. But who's counting? We've had obviously a successful season, and one of the highlights of our season, I want to read to you a certificate of recognition presented to Taft College Baseball by the Taft Chamber of Commerce Community Service Group of the Year, dated February 24th, 2024, by Supervisor Zach Scrivener in District 2. This is an extremely honorable gesture on behalf of the Taft Chamber of Commerce. And as the head spokesperson, the head figurehead of Taft College Baseball, it pains me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to give the certificate back, but with the understanding that Supervisor Couch, who once called Taft his home, I would be honored to have Supervisor Couch present us a recognition of Service Group of the Year because he was once a supervisor. I know everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But the court of public opinion weighs heavy on me, and that's why I feel it's necessary for me to return this certificate of recognition, but with the hope that Supervisor Couch can come through in the clutch. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Vince, and congratulations on your season. Who'll be next?
Andy Hensel, Hensel. So we spent the first part of the morning honoring people, and now it pains me to do this, but personally I believe that Mr. Scrivener is guilty of what he's accused of. But I believe that, but I don't insist on it, because even though Sheriff Youngblood has 30 years of experience collecting evidence and interviewing witnesses, we're still a long way from assigning guilt or innocence. In fact, a long way. It's already been 2 weeks and still no charges have been filed. Ask yourself this: if your child was accused, or if your child was sexually abused, how long would you like to wait for charges to be filed? This is a typical Soros DA tactic. We wait for charges that are never filed. And while we're waiting and waiting, what about Mr. Scrivener's mental stability? Shouldn't we talk about his ability to govern and the responsibility of properly representing what will soon be 1 million citizens in Kern County? Well, Psychology 101 tells us that the only thing more stressful than a marital separation is the death of a spouse or a divorce. Been there. Then comes personal injury, been there, and job loss. Been there many times. Mr. Scrivener is looking at multiple stressors all at once. For example, we know he and his wife is separated and she's been granted a restraining order. We also know that he received a knife wound that required a trip to the hospital. So, Mr. Scrivener, only you and your Maker know your heart and know your state of mind. And if you are psychotic or suicidal, as your own lawyer claims, please do the right thing if you're watching and step down from public office and get the help you need. Thank you.
Who'll be next?
Dennis McLean, MC, capital L-E-A-N.
Morning.
Morning, Chairman Couch and board members. Thank you for letting me express my concern as an older American. I have 2 items to address this morning. First, I would like to know why Ms. Espinoza does not attend your AM board session as requested by Chairman Couch.
I can answer that. She was out of town at our last board meeting, that meeting in particular.
Okay, thank you.
And she may be in the back for all I know. I just can't see that far with the lights.
She is avoiding the public's questions concerning our election department. We find it very frustrating that she will not attend, especially since your board approved the hiring of an assistant ROV and a public relation officer. I have yet to meet, see, or hear from those individuals. Just curious if your board has. Amy has campaigned and continues to speak in support of transparency, but the public sees little of her promises. Our group is in pursuit of fair and accurate elections. Next, I would like to comment on District 2 Supervisor Scrivener's recent allocations. According to our county sheriff, there is suspected evidence of psychotic behavior, illegal drug possession, and sexually assaulting one of his children. Due to his county leadership position, I am requesting Mr. Scrivener to resign immediately. This type of behavior is not acceptable to the citizens of Kern County. Thank you for letting me speak.
Who'll be next?
Jeff Sanders.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Two things. One is I appreciate them wanting to take care of maternal women, but I think it should be all women. It should not just one race. I think we should stay away from the segregation. The other is I understand that everybody's innocent until proven guilty. However, with that being said, there's a lot of lawsuits coming up here, a lot of time with defending these things. I would like somebody in that chair that has a clear mind, sound judgment, is not preoccupied by multiple cases. Even if it was just the divorce, that's too much to put somebody through and make a sound judgment for the people of Kern County. Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Shin.
Good morning, board members. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I am Charles Shin. I am a retired Marine, SHINN. District 2, along with Kern County constituents as a whole, deserve to have representatives who can make sound and moral decisions as our elected officials. Given media reporting and taking into account everyone is innocent before the law, the immediate future of the Board of Supervisors will be missing one official for the near term, and who knows how long for the long term. To prevent tie votes, or worse yet, the governor picking our replacement, Mr. Scrivener should immediately step down to allow citizens their right to pick his replacement. Item 2, Kern County voters demand a full accounting from our poll book vendor, 10X, and/or the county elections clerk as to what caused the countywide shutdown on the 19th March special election. This fiasco prevented poll ballot voting by half a day. Folks who vote in person do not want to vote provisionally. We already go through several screenings, one a residency verification, and then by signing in. Our votes shouldn't have to clear yet another hurdle at the elections department later on. For the record, Amy and 10X violated our civil rights in limiting in-person voting to provisional ballot only. We all heard provisional ballots get counted last, and sometimes they don't get counted at all. And item 3, speaking about special elections, Amy, decision to allow Representative Fong to run in 2 separate elections simultaneously is going to be a sad new reality for California. This decision undercut everyone in running in an open CD20 race by supporting Mr. McCarthy's short notice early exit. This limited those running against a non-conflicted candidate and incumbent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shin.
Continuing with that thought, our Kern County elections chief stated on the 9th of January.
Mr. Sanders, I don't want to do this. I hate to do this, but we're limiting each person to 2 minutes, not,
I thought it was 2 minutes per subject.
No, it's
Nope.
2 minutes per person. So is there someone else here? And I say that only so I don't have to, so I get to treat everybody the same. I apologize. This guy looks like he can handle it. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ralph Robles. I am a veteran. And today, Kern County is in a leadership crisis. In this period of confusion and anxiety, it is even more important that this board demonstrate that it can govern responsibly. At a previous meeting, I requested that the public be allowed to live stream the security cameras over the various ballot drop boxes in the county. Ms. Espinoza, our voter registrar, responded that it was not possible with the current system, that it would require purchasing new cameras. I requested the technical data of the county's ballot drop box security system, from cameras to the video displays, that is end to end. As a former communications electronics specialist for the United States Air Force, I believe that I can show a cost-effective way to upgrade the current system with the same cameras to provide online live streaming for the voters of Kern County. I remind you that a verbal request is still valid under the CPRA, that is the California Public Records Act. And I am still waiting for a response from Espinoza. So I turn to you. Why don't you let me demonstrate that you can afford to upgrade a system without even having to change the hardware? Especially in view of the fact that you are now spending $30 million for a building.
Thank you, Mr. Robles.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Supervisors. Noe Garcia, Noe Garcia. Good morning. My name is again Noe. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Dolores Huerta Foundation as a community organization, here to speak to demand accountability and transparency from Kern County. Again, according to a press conference from the Kern County Sheriff's Office, Kern County DA Zimmer called the sheriff directly to report a psychotic episode that involved a weapon with her nephew, Supervisor Scrivener, and of course the rest we're all familiar with. We're here today to call for transparency from the DA's office and from the Sheriff's Office on this personal communication and this special privilege when reporting a crime, and the conflict posed from this communication from the DA being Supervisor Scrivener's aunt. I'm also here today calling for the resignation of Supervisor Scrivener, and to each urge of you on the dais today to call for the resignation of Supervisor Scrivener. Currently, the Kern County Sheriff is investigating Scrivener for sexual assault of a minor that involved a weapon or two. And of course, now the California Attorney General is now leading the prosecution due to the conflict of interest created from Zimmer being Scrivener's aunt. Currently, there's also an emergency protective order barring Scrivener from any contact with his children. And currently, the wife of Supervisor Scrivener now has a domestic violence restraining order against Scrivener. And so we know that this investigation will be a lengthy process. You know, the sheriffs mentioned it, the attorney general mentioned it, but this supervisor is not someone who should be representing our communities, should not be representing families and children in the county that you all serve and that you all represent. Our communities and your communities should not have to be represented by someone with these allegations, with these restraining orders, and these investigations taking place. And so we demand for each of you to call on Supervisor Scrivener to resign and to use your position to hold Kern County accountable for these practices that were taking place behind closed doors. Thank you all so much for the time, and I look forward to hearing back on the transparency and communication between Scrivener, Zimmer and the sheriff. Thank you.
Who'll be next?
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. I'm Yasidra Osby, and I'm here to talk about the special treatment Board of Supervisor Scrivener has and is continuing that is typical for Kern County behavior. It's white privilege at its core, and where's the public safety? The tough on crime narrative his aunt DA Zimmer uses that tends to only apply to poor, marginalized Black and brown residents. Black and brown people are harmed daily by the criminal legal system. They are held without sufficient evidence, falsely accused, given false information, without bail, and slandered in the media with mugshots and social media photos showing their families and friends. Where's the same energy for the Board of Supervisors Scrivener? Where's the transparency? Where are the people? We are the people that have paid our tax dollars for his role. He was stabbed by his own biological child, taken to the hospital for proper care, and that's it. I've seen how members of my community have been treated when suffering from beatings, broken bones, and chronic illnesses, and never received medical attention. Kern County must take a stand and call for the resignation of Zach Scrivener. He works for us. He's paid with our tax dollars. He must be relieved of his role as Board of Supervisor. The reign is over for people who use their platforms for privilege. The walls are crumbling fast. Act now, because the community will never forget this. Not ever. You will bring out voters like never before if you choose to do nothing. Kern County has a history of doing nothing or doing everything. I urge you to do everything. And this is a very tragic event, and prayers go out to his children. Thank you.
Who'll be next?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Gonzalez, and I'm also with the Dolores Huerta Foundation. As a constituent of Mr. Jeff Flores, I am compelled to address the glaring issue that the entire board has yet to address: the resignation of Supervisor Zach Scrivener. Zach Scrivener, an elected representative who, because of his political position and his different connections to law enforcement, has received clear preferential treatment over a series of extremely harmful actions, harmful to his family and harmful to the county. There are stark disparities in how justice is administered in our county. While the Kern County Sheriff's Office is notorious across the world for being one of the deadliest law enforcement agencies, it's perplexing to see them suddenly exercise restraint when it comes to the DA's nephew. They were even capable of recognizing a mental health crisis, a privilege that our communities of color are not afforded. I hope you recognize this, supervisors, and reflect on the fact that you're protecting a domestic abuser while families of color mourn the loss of loved ones at the hands of the same justice system. Supervisors, you have a responsibility to uphold justice and democracy with transparency. Your silence makes you complicit in the miscarriage of justice, all for the sake of protecting people within your political circle. I am here because I am outraged at these disparities. I also feel an obligation to call out this political corruption happening in front of my eyes, and happening in front of everyone's eyes. Your constituents, as you can see, are not blind to this. Supervisor Scrivener, please resign. And to our elected representatives, to my elected representatives, I urge you to protect and prioritize and uphold the responsibility to a fair justice system over political interest, and call for Supervisor Scrivener's resignation. Thank you.
Next speaker.
As usual, I don't have anything really written down, so it's not going to be as smooth as a number of other speakers today. Paul Linfesti.
Those are the best ones when they're organic.
Okay. Paul Linfesti, Linfesty. You probably know it by memory by now. And Jeff Flores, District 3, is my supervisor. Once again, I'm just going to have to say that I found that the elections department is very transparent here in Kern County, and I think Amy Espinoza has come here on a number of meetings. It's not like she's avoiding, and she has answered questions. It seems that I get a little disturbed because, you know, this country went through this McCarthyism era in the 50s, and at the last meeting, we heard how someone was seen to be wearing in her department a communist belt buckle because it had what looked like a hammer and a crescent, I think they meant a sickle, on her belt. And it was all under Amy's supervision, as though, is she supposed to now, supposed to do a wardrobe check every morning for all of her employees? Or the mysterious drive that this person with this belt buckle supposedly was using. And the math was also a little fuzzy when they said they're spending $106,000 on every voter in Kern County, and that adds up to 12 million. Does that mean we only have about 100 voters in Kern County? I don't know. That seemed to be a little fuzzy to me. But I sometimes think people they're hearing her speak and give answers, but are they really listening to what she's saying? Apparently they're not getting the message, And I keep wondering with how they keep saying this statement when Amy Espinoza has come here on a number of occasions, do they even really want her there when she's actually giving information that contradicts what their suppositions are? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers today? Okay. By the way, I think I didn't see it till this morning. We did get an email from Ms. Espinoza that she would not be here today. I believe she has a couple of, an auditor training or something in her office this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Tamara Baker, Tamara Baker. I'm the new Executive Director for the Alzheimer's Disease Association of Kern County. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I know that the Board of Supervisors has been very generous in the past with supporting our services and helping our community of those struggling with Alzheimer's or other related disorders. Just to give you guys a little bit of information about the impact that we've had this last year, we currently have 120 residents currently enrolled. I'm not sure if you're extremely familiar with our program, but we're the only nonprofit in Kern County to provide a day program specifically for people with Alzheimer's or other related disorders. And so we're currently almost getting back to our pre-COVID numbers, which is great. It's taken us a while. We've done almost over 2,400 door-to-door transportation trips this last year. We've provided financial assistance to over 35 families. And we've also had 155 unique caregivers receive over 22,000 units of support services as done in the budget for the Title IIIE. So anyways, I just wanted to introduce myself and thank you guys for your continued support, especially as it's Elder Month. And yeah, thank you so much.
Well, welcome. Congratulations on the position. Thank you. Any other speakers this morning? That takes us to item 10, which is board member announcements and reports. You have one? Supervisor?
Yeah, thank you. Given the events that have transpired and all the public comment today, I think it's important that I make a statement for those that are watching or those in the audience, so this doesn't go unaddressed. Not that it is going unaddressed, but 2 weeks ago, our Honorable Chairman David Couch made a statement. I think it's worth reiterating that statement for the benefit of the public. He said that the Kern County Sheriff's Office held a press conference about the 2nd District Supervisors Act Scrivener because this is an ongoing Sheriff's Office investigation. It's inappropriate for county officials or staff to comment. All questions or for comments or requests for information shall be directed to the Sheriff's Office. As always, employees will continue to provide the vital quality of life services our residents expect and deserve, signed by our Honorable Chairman David Couch. So essentially, I don't know what happened. That will come out in subsequent investigation. I don't know what's going to happen. The wheels of justice and legalese and all that will move forward. There's protocols in place for absences and vacancies or resignations or convictions. That's all set in stone. But I know what will happen. What will happen is that this county will continue to serve our residents with dignity, with quality services, and we're going to get through this along with our 8,000 employees, our dedicated departments, our public servants, and that's our assurance to you is that we will serve you to the best of our ability. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. I don't see Supervisor Perez.
Thank you, Supervisor Flores. That was absolutely perfect and appropriate. Can County Council comment and give some direction to the public? I know it is not appropriate for the supervisors to do so beyond what Supervisor Flores just so eloquently provided. But there's a lot of confusion, a lot of question, and we are people that are typically called on as politicians to respond to such things, to provide at least something. And I know that that is incredibly complicated under the circumstances. But is there something we can provide, some sense to the public that work is being done and that we are not law enforcement experts, we're not investigators, that's not what we do, and that the experts have been tasked with bringing this to some kind of resolution?
Supervisor Perez, through the chair, it would be inappropriate for me to weigh in on any of the legalities that are going on in this situation. The press has reported that the State Department of Justice and the AG's office have become involved. That's a fact that I believe is accurate and has been reported. Other than that, there are statutes, primarily in the government code and the election codes, that address matters such as vacancy in office and other types of how vacancies would be filled. I agree with what Supervisor Flores said and what Chairman Couch issued last week, is that the county is about continuing doing what the county does, which is the best that we can every day to serve the needs of our citizens. And from what I have gathered is that every county department is just proceeding in that direction as ably as possible. But other than that, I have no unique information or knowledge about the situation that hasn't been reported.
That's very helpful, thank you. So we're waiting to hear from law enforcement as well, what the next procedural steps are, and we simply don't know them. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I think what's important to note there is we will probably find out about the same time the public finds out. So there's no special information that we've got. Okay, that concludes item 10, and it takes us over to 34, which is under the County Administrative Office. It's a presentation on the Kern application, which is a digital transparency and accessibility tool for county residents to connect and report non-emergency issues. Ms. Martinez, how are you?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Some good news. We are excited to share with your board and the public the new Kern County app. This tool aims to bridge the gap between the county and residents by providing a platform for easy communication and access to information. Ali Soper and Anna Marie Otto from our Office of Countywide Communication will share more about this application called Kern.
Good morning, Chairman Couch and members of the board. As Elsa stated, my name is Ali Soper, and I am Kern County's Chief Communications Officer. Today, we are thrilled to bring another resource to our residents and bring them the first-class service and 24/7 access to our county agency that they deserve. I would like to introduce my talented colleague, Anna Marie Otto. She has worked with the developer of the Kern app and all of our county departments to make sure that our rollout today is one of excellence. Anna Marie.
Thank you, Ali. Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. The free Kern app will provide residents with an elevated level of service and strengthen their connection to their local government. This new resource is a pivotal step in supporting Kern County's transparency and accessibility as a government agency, and will be one of the ways for residents to report non-emergency issues and find helpful information about our county's services and departments. Over time, this feature will become more and more effective as our employees and residents interact with our service requests feature. We've created an instructional video to share with you today that highlights how to utilize the Kern app with ease.
Are you looking for a fast and easy way to connect to your local government? Download the Kern app today in the App Store or Google Play. This free resource is the best way to report non-emergency issues and find helpful information about all things Kern County. You can subscribe to push alerts for real-time information, report issues directly to our staff, or find popular topics with the click of a button. Notice illegal dumping, potholes, damaged road signs, or problems in your local park? It's easy to report an issue in your unincorporated neighborhood. All you need to do is hit the request button on the homepage. Select your category, upload your pictures, and geotag the exact location of your concern. Then you can fill out the description section to give our staff a little more detail and leave your contact information so we can get in touch. Once you press the submit button, your request will be assigned a ticket number and you'll receive real-time updates from our team. Kern is also a place where you can find current job openings, Look up board meetings, request public records, pay your property taxes, report graffiti, register to vote, submit a film permit, and so much more. You can also find contact information for various county services, like code compliance and CalFresh. And don't forget to opt in to our push alerts after downloading the app. We'll keep you posted on current road statuses and closures, countywide communications, and other breaking news. From all of us here at Kern County, we want to remind you that we work for you. So search My Kern in the App Store or Google Play to get connected to your local government today.
Finally, I want to thank the General Services and Public Works Departments for their extraordinary partnership throughout this process. New park signage is rolling out as we speak, and that will have QR codes on each sign, encouraging residents to download the MyKern app. That concludes my prepared remarks, and we are available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I open it to the public, or any Supervisor Perez?
Well, you know, in light of my Older Americans proclamation today, I'm looking at the future, and I can see that things are very bright. Thank you for your innovation and for, you know, the youthfulness that you're bringing to, you know, reality in Kern. I think it's really, really cool. So hats off to you.
Supervisor Peters?
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to say that coming from my background in private industry, I think since the day I came into office, of every resident in Kern County, like, you know, customers of our services here, and this is that's something I've always been really supportive of, is focusing on that customer service idea of providing the services that we offer, and this is such a great step toward that, and really thinking about how we can make it easy to provide those services. So I just really commend you guys on this, and I'm looking forward to downloading the app later today.
Thank you. And then, does this go live? Is this live right now? Yes. Oh, great. Okay.
I just downloaded it while they were speaking.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any, this is just a receive and file motion, but are there any public comments on this item? Seeing none, I'll just look for a motion to receive and file. And a second, obviously.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Scribner.
Thank you, ladies. That, I think, takes us to the end of the morning agenda. We just need a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Motion.
Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you.